Do that with your investments as well. Like, okay, each time I get paid, either $50, $100, whatever, it's coming out of my account and it's going into my brokerage account, or it's going into my 401k, or it's going into my IRA. Do the same thing with that. Once you automate stuff, it's way easier, and it makes budgeting easier as well. What's good, my people? This is 83 Finance, and you're sitting with Dedrick, or D, whichever one you want to call me, it don't matter. But today we're going to talk about effective money management skills. Okay, money management 101. Now, what inspired me to do this video is just being around certain people and realizing they will be in a much better spot, me including, if we had better money management skills. And then I was reading an article. It was the CFP board, which is the Certified Financial Planner Board. They stated that 1 in 3 lotto winners go broke within 3 to 5 years. Says a lot. And then think of the celebrities, pro ball players, and other entertainers that go broke when they had access to millions. And at some point, you got to think about it like, man, why? They don't have money management skills, or they burn through their money, or they lack financial literacy, which is all the same thing. But let's talk about this, man. And the first thing I want to do is let you know that it's not about how much money you make, it's about what you keep. Because I know some people that make anywhere from 50 to maybe 70,000, and they living good. You would think they had a lot of money, but it's just they know how to manage their money, and they keep a lot of it. They don't spend their money on a whole lot of bull crap. They don't sit there and splurge. They're not going out all the time. They plan everything, and they stick to a budget. But let's get into it, man. So the first thing we need to do is identify the needs and identify the wants. Two different things. Because most of the time it's need versus wants. If you can function without it, I'm not going to say if you can live without it, because we can live without majority of stuff, if we're being honest. If you can function without it, then it is a want. If you need it to function, then it is a necessity. Okay? It is a need. You need it. So that's first and foremost. So let's get into budgeting. The first thing you need to do is create a budget. Well, this is the second thing. Second thing you need to do is create a budget. Now, this is very vital to your financial health, because this is what you're living by. When you create that budget, this is what you live by. Especially if you're being consistent, you stick with it, it's going to help you out, man. I promise. Because there's a lot of people that don't live within a budget. Just think about it. How many people you know that'll say, man, I made all this money last year, I made all this money last month, and they got nothing to show for it. I don't even know where it went to. You ask somebody where did they spend their money at, and they can't even tell you. You obviously not sticking to a budget. So this is how you create your budget. Go back within the previous month or even the previous 2 months, however far you need to go back, and look at where you're spending your money at. Because obviously, rent, car note, phone bill, car insurance, all that, that's a gimme. You know that. But look back and look at your habits. How often am I going to the grocery store? How often am I going out? You know what I'm saying? How often am I ordering off of Amazon? How often do I go to the mall? Look at everything you're spending your money on. And that's your budget. Now, this is not, we're not going to stick with it. We're not going to stick with it. Now you can go through and you can edit your budget. You need to go through there and look at what you spent your money on. You need to identify where you need to cut your expenses at. Okay, I ate out too much. Let me limit that. I bought too many pairs of shoes. Okay, I'm gonna limit that this month. You need to automate it. Your budget needs to be automated. So now you know exactly what you got to spend today, the next week, and the week after that. You know exactly where your money is going to. That's how you create your budget. Now, after you do that, then you can put inside your investments. You need to automate it. Remember, we got to automate everything. It makes it so much smoother, I promise. Just like how your car note is probably automated. Like on the 15th, boom, $360 coming out of my account. Because that's how I pay my car note. Phone bill, boom, $90 come out of my account. It's automated. It makes it so much easier. Now, do that with your investments as well. Like, okay, each time I get paid, either $50 or $100, whatever, it's coming out of my account and it's going into my brokerage account. or it's going into my 401k, or it's going into my IRA. Do the same thing with that. Once you automate stuff, it's way easier, and it makes budgeting easier as well. Just keep track with it. That's it. Just keep track with it. So once you do that, now what we need to do is create a cash flow statement. A cash flow statement. And basically, your budget is going to be on there, right? You got an income column, and then you have your expense column, your cash flow statement. Income column, that's the money you're making each month. Each month. It don't matter if you get paid every day, every week, or bi-weekly, or once a month, whatever. This is your income. Then you have your expense column, which we just went over within your budget. Everything you're spending your money on needs to go there. Now, you subtract your expenses from your income, and that is your free cash flow. The money that's left over after you pay all your expenses. All right? Now, roughly 50% of your income is going to be your expenses, okay? All your bills, that's roughly 50% of your income. The other 30% is going to be wants. You know, eating out, entertainment, Netflix, Hulu, all this stuff. Going to the club, whatever. Whatever you spend your money on, it's going to be roughly 30% of your income. And then that last 20% is going to be saving and paying down debt. Remember, investing, that's inside of our expenses. We already got that accounted for in the 50th percentile of our income. That last 20% is going to be saving or paying down debt. You know, student loans, credit card debt, all that. Now, it doesn't have to be 20% saving or 20% paying down debt. You come up with that. But that last 20% needs to go towards saving and paying down debt. It'll make your life so much easier. And what are we saving for? You want to save so you can create an emergency fund. That's the first thing you need to save for. This is 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. Remember, the expenses are in the cash flow statement. 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. Not income, but expenses. That way, if anything bad happens, you good. Got something to fall back on for the time being. All right? Now, the more you save, the better off you are. But at least 3 months. Okay? And then after you save that, you can keep saving. Now you can save for your purchases. Okay, you want a new pair of shoes? You want a new phone? You want a new car? You know what I'm saying? You want this new outfit? You want a new camera? A new TV? Whatever. You want to save for it. That way you won't be rushing to do anything, and you won't make any, what do they call it? Impulsive spending. You won't do any impulsive spending. This is how you avoid that. That is another thing that can break your financial health, or can make your financial health decline. Impulsive spending. Buying stuff on the spot. Going outside of your budget. And that's another thing. Living above your means is another reason people can go broke or dig a hole for themselves. Living above your means. What this means is you basically buying stuff that's not fit for your budget. So the best thing to do is live at or below your means. And how you decide this is based on how much you got saved, how much debt you have, how much money you make. Okay? If you're kind of struggling, you're trying to find your way, you definitely need to be living below your means. It can never hurt you to live below your means. Because a lot of people, they make a lot of money, but they still live below their means. And they can be doing better than a whole lot of other people. And people are like, oh, he flashy. He probably still living below his means. That's how much money he got. But you can live at your means if you got stuff paid off, you got money saved up, yada, yada, yada. You got money coming in consistently. You can live at your means then. But it will never hurt you to live below your means. Just remember that. And last but not least, investing. Investing in the wrong things can definitely have an impact negatively on your financial health. Because you can make a bad investment and you lose all your money or lose most of it. So how you can avoid that? Just a quick crash course on how you can avoid that. When you invest in anything, whether it is investing into a business tangibly or investing in the business on the stock market, what you want to do is decide, first of all, is this a great company? How is the staff? How is the customers? Do they have a lot of customers? Are they profitable? Do they make more money than they spend? And each year, is it getting better? Within each year of you doing business, is it going up Are you making more each year? And can I see this business around for 10, maybe 15 more years? It's simple. And then you can look at the numbers. Like, let me look at your cash flow. Is there more money coming in and going out? Let me look at your balance sheet. Do you have more assets than liabilities? And then let me look at your income statement. Let me see how y'all handling the money. That's it. That's a quick crash course. It's quick, but those are the things you need to know. You know, because you heard. How many times have you watched a movie and then you see people go broke because they made a bad investment? That's because it was kind of like a scheme. Sometimes it could be a scheme. Sometimes it's just not a good business, man. But that's how you can avoid it. Do a quick rundown. Don't do a quick rundown. I just did a quick rundown. Do a rundown of their business from A to Z and see how profitable. Because that's at the end of the day, that's what you want. When you invest, that's what you want. You want a profit. You want a return on your money. So you got to see if the business is profitable. If it's not, what are we even talking about? But that's it, man. And you can invest in different things. Stocks, ETFs, index funds, crypto. Those are the only things I invest in for us right now. But yeah, man, that's how you avoid bad investments. Just pay attention. Read between the lines. That's it. But yeah, those are money management skills. If you didn't know, now you know. And that's how you can avoid digging a hole for yourself. That's how you can make sure that your financial health is in good shape. That's it, man. And a lot of times it's not anything fancy. It's the choices we make. It's how we think, you know what I'm saying, how we view money and how consistent we are. Sometimes it's not anything fancy to deal with it. But yeah, man, that's money management 101. All right? No matter how much money you make, you need these skills right here, man. Definitely, you need these skills. But yeah, that's it, man. And thank you for watching. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you put out a pen and paper. All right? So this is ADV Finance. I am Dedrick, and I appreciate you for watching.